Good evening,
Hello.
everybody. Hello, hello. How we guys all doing? Welcome to your favorite Wednesday show, sponsored by Trudeau, apparently.
Hey, Trudeau. Got the
Hey,
bucks. Got the
we got
bucks.
the Trudeau Bucks for sure. It's been an interesting week. It's been a long week. It's been a crazy week. And I have something I want to discuss a little bit later too. But how are you doing, Deana?
I'm good.
Excellent.
Everything's good.
You got a whole sort of, I don't know. I told you this even before as we started out. You got a bit of a scrapper look going on. Like you're ready for it. Like it's yeah. Deana's always primed. Just good to go. We got a fair amount of stuff. I think we're ready to go. Let's get things started. First up, and again, this is has been a bit of a packed week. I did do a little bit of trimming, but yeah,
It's not as busy as last week. I mean,
it's
kind of
it's
is, but
not. And I'm going to
not complaining.
No, exactly. And it's one of those that I'm going to talk a little bit more about as I realize something I did not prepare in regards to it.
Daisies.
Whoopsie daisies indeed. So, you get to see dear old Joe in real time fix his mistake as quickly as possible. But yeah, no, it was it wasn't too bad of a I don't know. There was still a fair amount, and that's kind of one of the things I do want to discuss a little bit later in regards to all the craziness we got. But I mean, to start
There were
off,
some terrible things that happened this week.
Exactly. I mean, one of the big ones we can start off with was, if we go into it, is right off the bat, and I think this was one on the day after our last broadcast, and it was Thursday, the day after the last broadcast, which was Lincoln Longsfield-Davidson Heights School. They decided to have a walkout, and
I'm seeing the Ottawa activism logo up right now.
Are you? Oh,
I am. I don't know if everybody else is.
Yeah, I had this problem before. Give me a second here.
Where did Joe go? Well, that's okay. I hope everybody's doing well today. Hey, kids. Hey, vaccine baby. Yeah, okay, good. So you see what I see as well.
Mike sees it too. Okay, I'm still seeing the wrong one. So let me see if I can adjust this.
Now okay. I don't know.
What do you guys see now?
I see a tweet.
Nope, you shouldn't be seeing that.
Another tweet.
Who's a tweet by?
I can't see it. My computer is too small. Somebody else can tell us.
I can actually verify it on the monitor.
Chanel.
Yes, then that's the correct one.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah. Now I hear myself, and that freaks me out. All right. Let me try that again. All right. So, rewinding back into place. Last week, Longsfield-Davidson High School. Longsfield-Davidson Heights School. They had a walkout, a student protest walkout, and there's a couple things I want to bring up in regards to it. So the walkout is not too unexpected, but this particular walkout occurred rather quickly, and it was a little surprising once we took a look in regards to it. So Chanel Fowl, she sent out a tweet saying, "Hey, there's gonna be a big walkout. Get out there and do your thing." Longsfield-Davidson is also out in the middle of nowhere. It's down
you should bring your mic closer to your mouth there, Joe.
Like this?
That's better.
There we go. So Longsfield-Davidson High School, this particular walkout created an Instagram account to discuss the entire event. Now you can go take a look at it and take a seat, but things I want to sort of point out is, within less than a month, they had over 300 followers. Thank you, Magic Hand. So they had over 300 followers, and it was literally created within a short amount of time. Like, this was the creation date, June 2023, and within no time, out it comes, and it's got a huge amount of following.
Yeah, but the people that are following aren't from Longfield Heights.
Yeah, but
So
and I don't disagree with you on that, but I sort of want to point out more into the regards to. You're right. It's a lot of them may be coming up, but it's the fact that there's a good enough group organized behind it to be able to sort of get it in there, and it ties back to a lot of things that we saw, like only from what you saw, the OCDSB, what we see here at the high school. Like, they had Rebel News that was there during this high school walkout, all ready for them to show up.
yeah. So that's the key point right there.
Yeah,
Is that yeah
it's a big
that
connected driver, and it's something I want to. I'm going to keep bringing it back up as we're going to be going through other stories in regards to there's organization.
yeah. Well, how many kids walked out is what somebody's asking. There was about what I saw 35.
Roughly.
And the school size, it's from grade 7 to grade 12. The school size is 2,250 or 75, one or the other, but it's over 2,200 students. So
Yes.
3 dozen students walk out. So, I mean,
Thank you, Magic Hand.
magic hand. I like it.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. The fact that Rebel News thought that they should come out to that, and then I feel like, how did they know about it so quickly? And like you said, this thing comes up. There's 300 followers. Rebel News shows up for the whole 35 kids that come out. It was actually pretty pathetic.
So, yeah. So this is where I'm kind of curious in regards to a lot of things. So I don't know. I don't know, for example, at the OCDSB, the one you were at, if Rebel News or even if I don't know if you might recall if you saw Save Canada there.
I did not. I saw Chris Dacey there.
That's not
And I did not see Rebel News there.
okay.
I saw a guy who told me he was taking pictures, that he was from the Ottawa Citizen, and he told me that he took a nice picture of me and asked me my name. That is the only reporter-esque person that I saw.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair. So that's, again, this is kind of an interesting thing, and in regards to, so I mean, this again, I want everybody to sort of remember in regards to this story here, like, this was an event that came up quickly. Nobody really knew about it till, on most sides in regards to like a couple of days ahead of time, and then they had a sort of a fair amount that showed up. OCSB was kind of a similar story. It came up quickly. Suddenly, people were there. A large showing up that occurred, and then that was it. Now we're going to move over to the next one here, which moves us a little bit away. I don't know if there's anything else you want to mention.
No, I just think that it was a pathetic turnout, and it's a large school, and yeah, I don't know. I have nothing to say about it.
Well, then, say nothing.
Those kids were disgusting and rude, and like yeah, crybabies. They were tearing down pride flags. They were stomping on them. They were ripping them. They thought it was funny. They were being bullies and pathetic.
No, it's true. It's, I mean, it's no different. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing as we saw there. Going back to protesting and whatnot, there is sort of the next story we're going to go into, which is a little bit less related. But something I wanted to also go through, and I know Deana does too, because I know Deana. Calgary woman charged following high school protest that turned out to a fight. So this actually relates to the incident that occurred. Sorry, the protest that happened in Calgary. We know we have some Calgary followers here, and so they know which event it was. The reason why I want to discuss this one a little bit more, aside from the fact that an activist got charged, it's not very common. Even in regards to June 9th, there was about a total of 5 people that were arrested at the June 9 Ottawa event. Everybody was let go. So it's rare that charges actually occur. When it does, it's usually because of something egregious, which is understandable. But this one in particular kind of shocked me a little bit. And I'm hoping I got this large enough here.
I mean, it doesn't shock me. She's a black activist. It's Calgary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not shocked at all.
Yeah. So the details of this one is Taylor McNally, 32 Calgary. She was charged with 2 counts of assault. All right. 1 count of sexual assault. Okay, what?
Are you fucking kidding me?
And 1 count of unlawful confinement. And the one that really clinched me is the following an investigation by the hate crime prevention team, hate motivation was applied to the charges.
They're so fucking stupid. They're fucking stupid. Yeah, she is a thorn on the side of the Calgary police, for sure. She's not wrong, though. And so they're just proving her point, is all they're doing. And this is a disgusting tactic that's used to suppress vocal, effective activists. And all they're doing is amplifying her. That's all they're doing. I support her 100% right from the get-go. And
I didn't think you were going to be somebody who disagrees with.
No, I'm ready to fly out to Calgary for if she has to go to trial or any of that shit. I'm ready to go stand right there, right behind her.
I mean, one of the charges that she dealt with as a sheriff is because she hit him with a megaphone. I'm like, you two are sisters.
If your hands are full,
yeah,
and somebody comes at you, you're not going to drop what's in your hands. You're going to block or do whatever it is that you need to do. So what a joke.
Oh, yeah.
And it was clear that they were pushing into the crowd. And the Calgary police fucking failed because they should have kept the 2 groups separate. And that group claimed that space first. Yeah. That group owned that space first. And they're the ones who tried to push into their space.
Yeah. And I mean, I've been reviewing some of the footage from all sorts of different angles in regards even to the Ottawa one, where the Ottawa one has been characterized as, some people have characterized the defenders and the counter protesters as aggressive. But I'm looking at all the footage that all the different angles were showing, and they were showing, and quite a few of them were showing where the protesters were aggressively pushing into areas. And I'm like, you can't say they're the weak ones when they're aggressively pushing in. They pushed in, they jam themselves in, and anything else, you're just being dishonest. But in this particular case here, the only thing that kind of concerned me is these kind of aggressive, particularly the hate charge being put into it. I'm like,
that's going to get dropped. It's still disgusting because it is one of those things that boosts the bullshit from Save Canada.
Yeah.
But it'll be a great victory when all of the charges are dropped, because they will be dropped.
I hope so. I thought I heard rumors that there was already dropped. When I tried to go verify it, I did not find any information about it. So that's why I'm right now at this particular time. This is all the information I was able to find.
I'm sure if they were dropped, there would be an announcement from Taylor McNally. I'm almost positive that.
Fair. Unfortunately, Taylor McNally's also closed up their social media activity. Understandable.
Right, but there'd still be a statement that would come out, I think.
I hope so. If not, at least some sort of public statement to say it. If not, I'm sure our Western viewers would be more than quick to let us know in regards
Mike
to
is
it.
saying that there was another activist that got charged with hate motivation, but the Calgary police announced that it was a mistake. Oh, you guys made a mistake, did you? You made a mistake, Calgary police. Like, fuck right off. Oopsies. Fucking idiots. They need to investigate those jackasses. Somebody should file a complaint.
I'm just concerned if this particular, like I said, I am interested in just keeping an eye in regards to what's going on in regards to Taylor McNally. Not only because we definitely have some. I'm not gonna lie, we have some personal bias in regards to how McNally should be treated in regards to what's going on, but
It's not a
also,
bias. Right is right and wrong is wrong. Like that. I We saw the footage. The
yeah, no,
bias,
no,
like it's not. We
again, yeah,
experienced Josh Alexander,
oh
Nick
yeah,
Alexander,
oh
the
yeah.
rest of those fucking clowns. We've
Oh no, no,
experienced them.
absolutely. I've seen Josh going punching. I remember
Yeah,
seeing Nick walking around with his arms up as he's trying to. I'm like, are you looking to scrap? Like, what's going on here?
exactly.
And I got footage of that too. But
Right.
it's uh, it's just one of those weird ass. Yeah, it more to the point for me is just I just keep an eye in regards to what kind of things, what kind of trends are we seeing that's being used against counter protesters, defenders, people like us, the activists like us, as regards to what's the new thing that we might be to be watching out for, be concerned of. Particularly like oh, now they're going to be starting trying to throw hate crimes on there. I'm like, really? Okay, fun.
So, and that brings us back. So, our spaces was awesome, and we had a speaker on our spaces
Mhm.
who spoke to the fact that on June 9th, we were clearly fighting two groups. We were fighting the fascists and we were fighting the police, right? Like
Mhm.
we had two oppositions, um, and that whenever legislation is passed that we think is going to protect us, it is most often used against us, right? And so we have to be careful, and this person said it spot on, that our approach needs to be more community focused and we protect each other, and we need to get out and stop relying on authorities to take care of us, because it's a system that's designed not to take care of us, the people, if you will. So, yeah, yeah. This
Agreed.
isn't new. These tactics that they're using are not new. Um, they might have new legislation that they can use as new tactics, if but it's not a new thing, and it's very convenient, I guess, or inconvenient that she's a strong black woman. We know that Josh Alexander or Nick or whoever it was that pushed into her should have received those charges. It really should have been him.
He's a good Christian boy.
He's
Agreed.
a he's a white boy in a white neighborhood with white police officers.
Yeah, not disagreeing with you. Well, let's shoot off to back from Calgary and going to circle back to this later. That's pretty much the only thing outside of Ontario. And there's a point to that. We'll get to that later on. So we shoot over to Niagara, Niagara School Board, where they had to deal with this.
So we moved from this section over here to go to the front doors of the district school board of Niagara. But whoa, holy smokes! I jumped. I'm not gonna lie. That was crazy. This guy says I'm on a team that hates brown people or colored people. He's not too wrong about that. It's one of the smartest things I've heard these guys say. Kiss my ass, freedom movement.
All your perversion you want, that you beg for. It'll be given to you relentlessly from behind.
Love that laugh.
Rights over Deana Joe! You want to cut my grandson's penis off? I don't think that'll be happening.
Hey, that's Jim Duggan style.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Nico rubbed me down.
It's been good, huh?
Yeah, can you rub me down, Nico? My back is killing me.
Woo!
That's not my back, baby.
That's your shoulder.
Honey, I'm not that old.
Boy, you get to go first in this one.
They're fucking disgusting. Like they're just gross and vile. Josh Bigger is a piece of shit. He's disgusting. The first time I was introduced to Josh Bigger was back in May of 2022, and somebody posted a disgusting video of him, and he was like naked and gross. Like he's a fucking disgusting piece of shit. I don't care if people are naked, but he was like definitely vile, and he's sitting there trying to talk about other people and their behavior, if you will, or how they manage themselves in public. He grosses me out. I think he's a disgusting piece of shit. He's vile. Joan, who yelled out my name, she's ridiculous. She's absolutely 100% like.
So when she was yelling out your name, yeah. Thank you. When she was yelling out your name, I'm looking at her. I'm like, you look like you're coming out hammered.
Oh yeah, she sounds like she's hammered. Like she was, like I can't even. Like this is the hypocrisy is so massive with these people. They talk about behavior and how we are, like I was on a Spaces for far too long yesterday, and one person made an idiotic comment because I said that like these things are violent, and they try to conveniently lay the blame on me as if I'm the reason why these things are violent, but an inconvenience to them. I wasn't at Niagara. I wasn't at any of these other places where these people were getting violent. So unfortunately, the probability of it being my fault, meanwhile, we're seeing this all over. And these are the exact same people who were at the Freedom Convoy bullshit in Ottawa, who tried to tell us that it was all peaceful. And when we told people that this is the behavior that we witnessed, and there's testimony of it, and they said, that's bullshit, that didn't happen. And now they're showing it. Like they're showing the world because they feel entitled and emboldened to behave this way.
And it's also in this particular case too, as you said, like yeah, it's true. I mean, this is kind of like the highlights I was able to pick out of that particular video in regards to what was going on. I mean, I can show you the extra stuff in regards to some of the barbs that came out from the left side, but I'm like, that's just shots that they couldn't defend themselves against.
Yep.
This is like I showed this and I didn't even edit to be this ridiculous. You guys can go take a look at the original. The original shows, these guys just look like ridiculous. It's like
the difference.
Sunnyvale went to the school board.
Yeah.
And that's another theme.
There's a difference between making fun of them, like, whatever, and them yelling out these obscenities. You want to cut my 4-year-old grandson's penis off? Like, do we need that fucking image? Do we need that image that your 4-year-old grandson's penis? Do we need that? Like, you're disgusting. Your mouth is disgusting. And the fact that you're talking about your grandson like that, first of all, nobody's trying to convert your grandson, crazy fucking lady. Okay. Second of all, do you this is what you talk about your family members' genitalia in such a, like, absolutely not even blunt. It is like vile. It's there's like, it is so crude.
Yeah.
What, this is not these aren't the words that come out of our mouths. These guys talk about socks on dicks and penises, and they talk about their kids and getting their kids' genitalia, and then all these weird things that they think they know. Like, she's so fucking dumb, but she knows that that's not even a thing. Nobody is like running around saying, "Where's Joan's grandson? We want to change him into a girl. We want to cut off his penis." Like,
no, and this is where I'll disagree with you a little bit in regards to.
No,
I think some of these people are that dumb.
Yeah, they are. Okay, yes, they are. But they know that they're being hyperbolic with this.
There's yeah. So I will agree with you. There's definitely some that are like, they know this is bullshit, but they're still parroting it. You and I could definitely list a few names.
Yes.
But there is also a large group, and we can also list a few names of people like, no, these guys definitely believe it. Like, just right down into the whole, every single goddamn conspiracy, they absolutely believe it.
Well, because they make it up and tell each other, this is the same. Okay, let's replace grandson's penis with grandson vaccine injured. They make up these stupid stories. Oh, I know somebody who's vaccine injured. Oh, I know this school is trying to convert my son into a trans person. Or this school has a book about giving blowjobs. You're so full of shit. There's no school that has a book about giving blowjobs. That's not what and then they're like, oh, they're trying to teach kindergartners about sex. No, they aren't. None of this is true. And when they start using their own family members as examples, then you know that they are lying, and they know they are lying, but they're trying to they're trying to use personal experience, which isn't real, but when you use personal experience, it validates your story, right?
Yeah.
But they're lying. And they know they're lying. So they must know they're wrong. They have to know they're wrong.
It's so, and so this reminds me, so as soon as you were talking about this in regards to like the books and some of those things that, are made up, reminded me of like one of these particular things I was actually got involved in a little bit last week, where they started spreading around, like, look at these horrible books that they're making for kids and making them read. And one of them was a Brad Gosse book. Now, for those who aren't aware of Brad Gosse, he's a comedian. He's here in Ontario. He does adult humor, and some of the books he writes are humorous, but he writes adult humor books in the style of a children's story. But you look at these books and you're rather quickly like, oh, no, this is not for kids.
It's a joke. It
is an absolute joke. Yeah.
Like Ren and Stimpy. You don't
exactly.
sit your 4-year-old kid in front of Ren and Stimpy, or in front of Family Guy, or in front of, whatever, a Futurama. Like, they're cartoons.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
Not for kids.
Exactly. But I mean, they're written a bit kind of, a bit in the style to look like that. Like, was it the one that they were showing off was Mom and Dad's Swinger Party. And I read through it. He actually reads it. There's a YouTube video where he actually reads through it. And it is like, he's got the most amazing voice for it. And as you're reading through the whole and listening to the whole thing, or reading whichever one you have, and you're like, I'm in stitches, dying reading to it. Listening to it.
Yeah.
But again, it's not for kids. And so, a couple of people I was finding on the internet, and I actually tagged the author too. And he was, he jumped in there, and, both of us were like, no, these are not for kids. if you're reading to this kid, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, it's written on there on the front of the book. No, not for kids. Like, that's not the intention. And so one of the things I've been kind of looking for now in the videos, and I'm even curious in regards to like Crystal Peters, if she was showing a Brad Gosse book. But you know, like, are these guys bringing Brad Gosse books saying like, look, this is what they're reading to the children? No.
They're just bringing whatever cartoony book, and it has like, you know, one sentence on each page, so they think that it's meant for. It's just ridiculous.
It is.
I watched a porn called, I don't remember what it was called, but it was like a Jack and the Beanstalk, and it was a cartoon of little Jack climbing up the beanstalk and then finding the giant's wife. So she's a giant, and I won't get into it, but it was a cartoon. Okay. Like, it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. This is the point of there's books and entertainment and stuff that are in the same genre. So cartoons or drag, and some are catered to families or children, and then some are adult content. You can have both. It doesn't mean your child is exposed to both. Like, they must know this. Like, they grew up, these are like, a lot of these people grew up at this, like.
Yeah. I agree with you and on certain parts to it, but again, I point you back to my original point, which is there are some that absolutely know it's bullshit. They're just, unless they've been really convinced in some sort of compelling argument, they have to know that this is bullshit. And some of them are just
want to hold on to it.
But there are quite a few that just will believe absolutely any crazy horse shit.
Yeah, it's true.
And again, like I said, you and I know these people. We've seen them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
well, we've heard them too. Like, near the end of the night last night, this person brings up that I'm getting paid by Trudeau, and it was just the most hilarious thing ever. And they're reposting it today, like,
Because all they know is how to masturbate.
like that right there. That right there is, you know, if you believe that's all the kids know how to do.
Yeah, and then making up stories about there being some gender transitioning hospital in Montreal that doesn't even exist, and you know, and then teachers are trying to groom children to become transgender. Fuck, I have so many teacher friends. They can barely, you know, get through their regular curriculum. They're not going to add something to try to make your kid trans. They are already dealing with children with behavioral problems, and a lot of them come from families of these convites where their kids are out of control, behavioral issues, bullies, and they have class sizes of like 30 kids. You think even higher. Yeah.
Yeah. It's welcome to Doug Ford's Ontario, where class size of 30 is a small class.
You think they're going to have time for a one-on-one with your kid so that they can convert them to, and what would be the purpose? What teachers don't get paid enough to, like, this agenda.
Teachers don't even get paid enough as it stands just to have a living wage.
Yeah. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's so bizarre that they're hanging on to this. I guess it's not that bizarre because, I mean, it's bizarre because I can't wrap my head around it. I can't think the way that they think. But behind it is hate, 100%. Like, the whole idea that they think that these things are happening in these schools, they want it to be that way so that they can justify their hate, if you know what I mean. Like, they want it to be that way.
Yes, I get that, and I agree with that in regards to to a lot of those particular things. There's certain issues where they just believe because they're kind of following that belief, and the reason why is because they probably were convinced with, again, let's call it what it is. The reason why they're following this is because there's a lot of confirmation bias. They want to hate, so they're going with the confirmation bias. Anything that
100%.
agrees with that, I'm game. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The trans movement's doing this, totally agree, because that's what I want to believe. I'm there. And if they're hearing all these things, and this is kind of how the machine works. I believe, like if, let's say I'm a crazy cockbite, because, well, I can kind of look at it. I need to regrow the beard, but, you get it. If I believe, that drag is bad, trans is bad, but I have no information, and every time I start hearing these stories in regards to why these things are bad, I'm going to fall through. I'm going to like, yeah, absolutely. It's they're doing indoctrination. They're doing they're bringing the rainbow flag and trying to program the kids. They're cutting penises off in the school during recess, like whatever it is, they're believing it without question. And then once you have that kind of investment from them, then you can start telling them other things, some of the other crazy. So the term rage farming has a very big reason. It's not just in regards to just get that anger in regards to the particular target, in this case, Justin Trudeau, but it's also to farm and cultivate that particular group and grow it.
Yeah.
To get them to follow you, so that you can start making new targets and keep them going with this new rage, like things like Canada Proud and everything else. They want to keep that going. They want to keep Rebel
Canada
wants to keep it
Proud.
go. TNC wants to keep it
Fake
going.
news. Their fake news that came out.
Canada Proud is not even in news. It is total propaganda.
It is
Absolutely.
100, and it was designed to be propaganda. Yeah, I
Absolutely.
researched it actually this past week to figure out what the hell. And of course,
Fucking
Pierre
Bellinger.
Polyev hired.
Yep.
What's his face? Whatever his dumbass.
Jeff
name
Bellinger.
is. That's right.
Well, I know him.
That's right. So, and then they post that stupid, and that the National Post as well posts. I won't get into that. That's a different topic, but you know what they did. They posted the fact that Trudeau is being investigated by the RCMP, and then the RCMP had to come out and say, no, that's not really what's happening at all. But the thing that pisses me off the most, and I've never brought this up, but they say this all the time, and it fucking drives me nuts. This trans issue wasn't an issue 10 years ago. This is because of you guys trying to push the agenda. Nope. It wasn't an issue like as it is now. The only reason why it's an issue now is because you crazy fucking right-wing nut jobs are making it a point to come out and protest something that you say wasn't an issue. If it wasn't an issue, why are you making it an issue? And we wouldn't have to come out and defend anything if you guys wouldn't work so goddamn hard to try to show up everywhere and shut down school board meetings and take kids out of class and try to stop parents from taking their kids into drag story time, which is none of your fucking business, trying to stop parents from giving their children the health care that they feel that their children need. Again, none of your business. These were things that were happening before that you didn't give a shit about. So we didn't interfere because there was nothing, like we knew this was going on. It wasn't a problem. It's a problem now because you've made it a problem. We didn't make it the problem. The convites are the ones who are aggressively and actively popping up everywhere, calling it a problem, and then saying, we're the ones who have made it into something. Like, it's just so ridiculous. Like, I can't even, it's like they push somebody. It's exactly what they do. They push somebody, you fight back, and then they tell you you're the one who assaulted them. It's like, what the fuck are you
True.
talking about, man? Like, fuck. It drives me nuts. Anyway, got that off my chest. You're
I
right.
wasn't going to interrupt because I know better.
It's just
No,
whatever.
but and again, I don't disagree with anything you just said because you're absolutely right. I mean, these guys, they, I don't even know how to go into what we need to keep going.
Yeah, okay.
Because you know what, I'll get the opportunity to talk about it again in a minute because now we move over from Niagara to OCSB. So we got a couple school board meetings we're gonna go to. So this is board number 2 of the 3.
The crowd's all here. Police are here. You know you're in the right spot when you see all the police. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 cops. Hello, folks. How you doing? Hey, Josh. Good to see you. So we're just sitting here in front of the Catholic School Board. Check it out. Gonna try to find out from somebody why we're here. Apparently, Save Canada, Josh, he's the one that was kicked out of school for saying there's only boys and girls. God made male and female. So he was kicked out of the Catholic School Board for that. And now he's here
misgendered.
protesting.
Pagan worship was terrorizing the village below this mountain. So what did he do? He brought Jesus on a stick like this and his monks behind him, and he marched up to that mountain. And guess what happened as he's marching up there? There was all kinds of distraction, earthquakes happening around him, people were just falling over, but not him and his monks. He went up to that, that's where it goes. And he knows what he has to do. He knows what he has to do. We just have to stand up for him. Stand firm, stand up. Enough of this nonsense. Enough, enough, enough. Okay, so here we go.
It was beautiful to see all the people cheer from the lowest age of probably 5 up to probably 80. All different nationalities, all different religions. Absolutely beautiful. I'm so glad I was able to make it out here for this.
So, all these different people of different nationalities and religions going to protest the Ottawa Catholic
Catholic
School Board.
School Board.
So what you're telling me is that a lot of these people at this protest would never even send their child to this school board because their child is not Catholic. And let's be honest, Deana, you and I will probably attest, half the people there weren't even fucking from Ottawa. So, like, say
They weren't
fucking
from
Canada to begin
Ottawa.
with.
That's right. They weren't from Ottawa.
Yeah.
They don't bring their kids to school because this is the 3rd time in a row in the last 2 weeks that their kids weren't in school.
Let alone a Catholic school board.
Right. Like, yeah, parachute protesters is a really great way to put it. Like, they're just all, it's the convoy effect. They just want to go everywhere and anywhere and be like, no, we don't like this, so we're just going to yell about it. And yeah, like, it's just 100% pure bigotry. They don't go to Catholic school boards. The mother yelled that her kids are homeschooled, one of those mothers, that she homeschools her kids.
What the fuck is she doing there? Sorry.
It's
That's
true, though. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is she doing there? What the fuck are any of them doing there? It's not their issue. So it's not about what teachers are teaching in school now. We've moved past that.
No,
So
it's
why
their
don't you be
feelings.
real and say you don't want trans people to exist anywhere. You don't want them to be safe anywhere. You don't want them to be safe in Catholic schools. You don't want them to be safe in public schools. You don't want them to be safe anywhere. In libraries. You just don't want them. Period. That's what this is about. It's garbage. And this is why we go out.
It
This
is.
why we fight. Because it's fascism, hands down.
110% exactly it. I mean, this is a weird weaponization, and this particular change, again, I point back to June 9th because this is kind of the change where we saw it, and it's one of those things that kind of, I feel, is a bit of a tipping point to sort of point back to, where they brought in not only the usual convoys that they bring to these events, minus a few, but now they're trying to bring in other groups like the Islam community to say, like, no, see, they're attacking your kids because they're bringing in the LGBTQ and they're going to make your kids,
And they're lying about the stuff that's happening.
Absolutely. Everything they're saying is an absolute lie. Are they trying to educate children in regards to awareness of what LGBTQ is? Absolutely. Are they telling them this is what, some people might be? Absolutely. Are they making your kids be LGBTQ? Fuck no. The message is never to be that. It's just, this is what they are. If you are that, then there's nothing wrong with that. And this is what you need to understand. And, there's resources and help if you want that. And this is a safe place to express if you have, questions. Are they making you that? Fuck no. Don't be a dumbass. Nobody's making anybody do shit all. We couldn't make you fucking take a vaccine, dumbasses. What makes you think we can make anybody else do anything?
And so that's it. Now they've moved on. Like we had Bethan who tweeted this homophobic shit. Now she's full on.
And
it's
wait. Is that the loser ex-nurse?
Yeah, loser ex-nurse is now like tweeting.
Just you need to title her correctly so I know who she is.
Yeah. And her and Chanel are supposed to be friends, and I think Chanel.
Shocker! I'm shocked. I'm absolutely floored.
Chanel identifies as lesbian, I think. I don't want to.
Yeah,
okay,
she did.
Okay. So, what's happening here? Like, Camilla predicted it, and I can't wait to get time to go through all of those videos. But, she said they're going to start eating each other alive or whatever. They're going to start turning on each other. That's what she said. And they will. It's coming. They will.
I feel we need to make up Camilla her own channel, and we'll call her Camilla Nostradamus.
Yeah.
And she's going to make predictions on the convites and the far right.
And then I'll have a crystal ball in front of her, and she'll be like,
We'll make the videos. I'll make the mix. I'll get a whole sort of background mystics, and then we'll do some effects. It'll be a whole thing. It'll be awesome.
It'll be amazing.
Are you kidding? Everybody's guaranteed to watch that because it's entertaining shit. Pretty much, her predictions will be like, yes. And the convites, I feel next week are going to be
it's just
dumbasses.
So, like Josh Alexander, Nick Alexander yelling out homophobic shit. Nico, which we already knew, like he is, flat earther, homophobe, transphobe, every hateful thing, except for, I guess he's realizing that the convoy, I don't know, he was kidding if he was being sarcastic or not, but I think
no.
Stop at the convoy people.
So actually, well, so for Nico, as we saw in the previous, So for many that are watching here, Nico, we're all aware of who Nico is. He's very much an anti-drag show, anti-rainbow, although some people have believe he might be part of the community. But he's also, about a month or so ago, he did have a big blowout with the convoy community. Like, when he said, fuck the Freedom Convoy, he meant that shit.
Okay, it sounded like he meant it, but I haven't been keeping tabs on any of them because I don't give a shit.
He meant that shit. Like, he at one point, like a month or two ago, somebody I'm sure will correct me on this one, in regards to the timeline, but the message is still definitely the same, or just the timeline I'm not sure on, but he went out and he blocked half the fucking convites that were with him, including Crystal Peters, and just said, you guys are fucking racist. Like, just went nuts.
Think, Nico? Like, how many microaggressions do you think that guy went through around them. They kept tokenizing him as the brown guy, for fuck's sake. Like,
They're referring to you as a brown guy.
Wake
Maybe
up.
they're not as tolerant as you think.
I have a brown friend. Look, there he is. You're saying that we're all white? Look at the one brown guy here. Nico, come on over. Come on over. Look, are we racist? Are we racist? Like, fuck.
No, exactly. I mean, like, and you're absolutely right, because I mean, like, you look at the convoy events, like, they'll point out, like, look, we got a black guy. Look, we've got a brown guy. Look, we've got a this guy or that guy or whatever. Like, as opposed to, like, you look into left sides, like, no, we're all here. There's no pointing out anything. It's like, no, we're all here. We are all individuals and people that are here. We don't need to point out people of ethnicities because we just aren't racist. In regards to needing to point out people of other ethnicities, that it's just
Like, if you're not racist, all you have to do is say, I'm not racist. You don't say, oh, I'm not racist. Look at this brown guy over here. And honestly, that's not even, I'm sure that's like the mildest microaggression that he probably faced with them. And it's probably like an abusive relationship. And now that he's finally out of that abusive relationship, he could probably think back and be like, holy crap, I was treated like a piece of garbage because of, whatever. And anyways, the point that I was making earlier is that these people aren't just transphobic. Especially the Bible thumpers, and I will call them that because I've been thumped by a Bible. They are actually all of it. They're homophobic, except for they're okay having adulterous relationships. They're okay having sex outside of marriage. They don't believe in abortion, even though abortion has nothing to do with the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran.
They don't believe in abortion unless they need one.
100%, and they'll do it in secret. They'll send their kid to get an abortion if their kid happens to get pregnant, or they're not kid, you know what I mean? Their young offspring.
Mistress.
Or their mistress. Yeah. So, mistress, which is adultery.
Sure. Or
they're okay lying because they lie all the time. We hear them. They make up stories all the time. They bear false witness to events that are going on, which is also against the Ten Commandments. They do covet their neighbors' wives. So all of these things.
Back to the mistresses.
Yeah.
Wherever we find them.
Yeah.
Reach. It's good.
They talk about people dying and killing them and whatever. So they're okay with murder. They're okay with that. So let's forget about that 10 commandment or one of the 10 commandments. They're gluttons. So that's okay. No problem.
Not a commandment.
Whatever. It's one of the...
it's one of the 7 deadly sins, but it's not a commandment.
Correct. So at the end of the day, the only things they don't like are people who don't do it their way and don't look like them. That's the story. Once upon a time, there was a white straight person, and that white straight person didn't like anybody who was not white or straight. The end. That's it.
That is accurate.
I just want to say cis. Cis, 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 cis.
That's for our longtime listener of Elon Musk. He likes to come on here and listen to us because, why not? He feels uncomfortable with the word cis now, where he's now deemed it as a hate term. So therefore, Deana, what's the term again?
Cis. But for Elon, he's a cyst.
I thought he was just sissy.
Yeah, that too. He's a sissy cyst.
There you go. Sissy cyst. So let's leave Ottawa's Catholic School Board, where everybody that was not Catholic showed up to protest, and move over to Hamilton School Board because that got even more stupid.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Wait. Oh.
Wait.
Okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah, I have a right to be here.
Wait, me in the middle of this thing?
No. It's just we forgot to mention that in Niagara they shut down all the schools.
They did. We can do that after, though.
Okay.
And we can go into that, too.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a right to be here.
No, I'm sorry, they're at their 50 capacity.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
I have a right to be
That's
here.
fine, no, they just don't have
I live in this
Oh, you're not going in. You're not going in.
So they can't tell you to crack the doors. There we go.
Public building.
Excuse me, you're not allowed in. It says not allowed in. 260 people are talking. You're not allowed in.
It's
Get out. Get out. Out. No, I'm putting you out. No. Out.
Or you'll be arrested for trespassing.
Not trespassing. Not trespassing.
You're pretty close to.
I'll give you
See everybody else going in though. Keep going, everyone.
buddy. That's assault.
Keep going.
That's assault.
Go in, everyone. Go.
That is assault. Now you're
They can't stop assault.
You touched me. You touched me. Nobody struck you.
Hey.
We're not allowed in.
What do you mean we're not allowed? Cat capacity is 260.
No,
you
it
made it 50. Last time it was 60. We're coming in.
No, you're not.
Don't touch me, man.
John, get the cops.
What they do is pedophilia, right? In the criminal code. For men dressed as women to come and dance in front of children, right? Why you're taking my pictures? Why are you taking pictures then? No, you don't take pictures of everything. Don't tell me like I don't know. His fucking child, and he's arrested, and on fucking bail, having to fight so his fucking son won't have fucking puberty blockers. For gender dysphoria, that's a mental fucking illness that most children get through. But no, let's cut off their fucking penis and make it into a vagina and never be able to fucking go back. I know, just I'm getting fucking too worked up.
There's the F word again.
See, I'm sorry.
The guys,
You go first.
like, just okay. The whole exaggeration and yelling, and the fact that I'm just going to start with the end first, where he says, "This
Yeah.
he's trying to fight for his son who has gender dysphoria." Or didn't even say he has gender dysphoria. Actually, he just said, so his son doesn't get puberty blockers, and they don't cut off his penis. So let's just dissect that for a second.
Yeah, let's go for that.
If your child is gender dysphoric and they want to start their trans affirming care, the parent is involved in that. A child is not going to go through surgery, because you cannot go through surgery under 18 unless you have parental consent. And I don't even think that there's anybody who is under 18 who has gone through the gender affirming surgery. I could
Not
be
in
wrong.
Canada. It's impossible in Canada.
Okay, so not in Canada. So this dude just wants to fucking rage and wants to show that he has authority over these people who actually have authority. And then going back to the beginning, the fact that they're trying to push their way through when the security guards say no and you're trespassing, they're like, "I'm not trespassing." Yeah, that's the definition of trespassing, bud. You can't go in. You were told by somebody who is in charge of people control, population control, that you can't go. So no means no, asshole. I know. No means no. Like,
They're not used to that.
no, and they're not used to that. That's exactly it. So I wonder really what this person is like behind closed doors with members of his own family, to be honest. Like, who does that? who's, no, I'm going in. I don't care. I'm going to go in. I'm going to do it. It's up to me. Like, I don't have a kid that goes here, but my friend here wants to protect his son. So I need to be there because they're about to cut off his son's penis and turn it into a vagina. Like, what the fuck? Honestly. Anyway.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the first thing is right off the bat, and you're absolutely right. There is no, when it comes to Canada's law, you're not going to get anything beyond, when it comes to gender affirming care, Canada, any minor that's under the age of 18, thank you, Magic Hand, is not going to get anything more than just puberty blockers. That's it. That's all you're allowed to have before the age of 18. But one of the other things I also recall in regards to this, and it was kind of interesting to listen to. So, one of the people I follow was a person that was a trans student. They actually spoke at one of the OCSB meetings and discussed sort of the issues. And they also had an opportunity during one of the particular tweet threads. They were discussing something, and it had to do with their parents. Their parents weren't comfortable with them being trans. Well, let's dig in a bit in reality in regards to this. It's great that you're not comfortable with it with your child being trans, but your child is still trans. That's kind of a reality, and this might be a bit of the issue. So it's and when they were discussing this, they were discussing in regards to the fact that we're seeing in regards to a couple of schools, like for example in Nova Scotia, I believe it's this is where Policy 713 is, and they were discussing it, and they rolled back the safe zones for these kids to be able to come out and express. And this trans person was able to say, like the fact that they were able to come out earlier and express and get their gender identities really, really helped them in regards to being able to start to transition during school where they felt safe. Losing that sort of pulled it back. And what was a huge thing that I thought was interesting was when they discussed this with their parents later on, obviously when they got older, their parents were upset that that schools were not disclosing information about their gender identity and whatnot to the parents. And it was huge because to the point that they highlighted on this, and they were 10% right, is the parents wanted to know this, not because of care. Because if you're a parent that your child is comfortable knowing that you'd be comfortable with you identifying as trans or anything else, or anything within the 2S LGBTQIA+, you don't need to worry about your child not telling to you. They'll feel comfortable to bring it to you when they're comfortable.
Yeah.
But if they're not comfortable with it, it's because they know that you're not comfortable with it. Kids are very, very smart. Massively smart.
And even if you're comfortable with it, maybe the kid just wants to explore that on their own and figure it out before they come. Like,
yeah. Maybe there's a gray curiosity, they're not sure, and they want to explore because, they might think they're lesbian or gay. Even something as simple as, they want to be, they're not sure if they're lesbian or gay, and they're like, I think I am lesbian or gay because I like this person, and they take a little bit longer, like, I also like this person, and maybe they discover they're pan.
Yeah.
Or bi, or something, and that's fine. And you know what? If their child wants to take a little bit of time, absolutely. If they're comfortable with you to be, so the rule is you should just make sure it's open for them to understand whatever you are is absolutely cool.
Yeah.
But just to finish off what I was saying in regards to the other trans person that was explaining this to me, explaining the tweet, is they were highlighting the fact that the people that were trying to bring this sort of like, no, you need to tell people and tell the parents about this, wasn't the fact that the parents should know as much as the parents wanted to be notified, because they wanted to control the future of their child. And I thought when I heard that, I'm like, oh my God, that makes a lot of sense.
It is true.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
This one woman who was on the Spaces last night was so pissed off And she was like trying to file, I don't know if it was a human rights complaint or whatever, against the school because she was so mad that her rights were taken away as a parent. But parents don't have rights when it comes to children because children are humans, so they have their own human rights. And so right then and there, you know that her issue isn't that she wasn't informed because she felt left out. Because honestly, I'd feel like a failure as a parent if my child couldn't come to me with something that important. Hands down. I didn't have children so that I can control what they do. Okay, they're an extension of who I am. I love them, but they are their own people. So my job on this earth when I have children is to guide them and to, show them the way. But ultimately, and I tell them this from like pretty much day one, because I have these conversations, they both my children were speaking full sentences at 13 months. There's a reason. I talked to them a lot. I read them books a lot. They, and it's not that I had adult conversations with them, but I treated them like individual people, right? And I always told them, you are responsible for your own safety. Because I can't be with you all the time. So I'm teaching you how to be safe, and you remember these things, right? And they have to, they're the first person to take care of themselves. Of course, I'm going to be there, and I would take a bullet for them, obviously. But
we know what you do, for sure.
Right, 100%. But it's like, they're the first person that needs to be responsible for themselves. And that's what you teach your children. You don't teach them that they have to listen to you just because. And that's the type of parenting I can't handle. And I've experienced that with one of my children where the parent was just like, no, they just do what they have to do. And there's no explanation. It's just because I said so. And there are points where you will say it's because I said so. And that the only reason why I will say because I said so is because I've already had that conversation with my kid. Like they've already had the explanation. They understand why it's a rule. But you can't just make up rules willy-nilly and then just be like, just because, and you have no thing to back it up. And so that's what these people do. And this particular lady trying to take the school to court and do all this stuff is simply because she did not accept the fact that her child is something other than what she wants her child to be. And sorry, you don't have kids to micromanage who they are as human beings. That's not the purpose of children. And if you think that's what the purpose of your children are, well, I feel really horrible for your children. And you will always have a shit relationship, whether your kid is trans or not, whether they're gay or not. Sorry.
That's right. I mean, be responsible for what choices in regards to what you can control. Things that are realistic, being a good person, being a caring person, kind,
strong,
sticking up for others, strong.
Yes.
Exactly. To help out other people, to think about other people, to stand up for other people. That's something you can teach if you want to, and that's something to nurture. But who the child is, that's beyond you. Because let's not forget, if you think that straight, gay people can only come out because, gay teachings, well, they've been gay for a long time. They came from straight parents in a very straight world.
Yeah. They've had straight, everything that is taught is straight. We had the conversation about the books. I'm like, why didn't you have a problem with Sidney Sheldon and Danielle Steele and Fabio and all these other very hetero, sexualized
pornographic
books? Yeah, romance and all this stuff and painting a woman to be the submissive, and this is how a romance is supposed to look, and we should fall at the oh, I'm a damsel, oh, you're gonna save me, like these fairy tales and all this other bullshit. Like, you're okay with all of that. You're okay with the kid learning at 4 years old that she is going to look for a prince to do everything for her. That is weird. It's weird that you are teaching your kid about relationships that young, right? Like, why does every fairy tale have to have a man? Now they're getting better at their fairy tales, but do you know what I mean? Like, they're sexualizing kids, and I'm not talking about Disney. Like, these fairy tales were before Disney. Disney just took fairy tales and then made them into cartoons. You know, all of these stories that we tell children about how they're supposed to be when they grow up. And then you have the Bible, which is the most graphic of all books. In terms of sexuality, rape, murder, you know, whatever. You name it, it's there. So, anyway, just same old bullshit. Same old bullshit.
I don't know how I feel about the Bible. Well, you know, we all know how I feel about the Bible. Very, very detached from it.
They take the Bible, though, and then they make it into a children's story. Like, they're able to take a graphic X-rated novel and make it all ages.
Yeah, but it's really, really boring porn.
But why can't anybody else take, you know, anything and make it into a all ages?
Yeah.
The hypocrisy
absolutely.
is real.
The hypocrisy is absolutely real. We're going to take a break from that, and we're going to shoot back over from Hamilton back to Ottawa. To Parliament Hill. And this is a bit of entertainment for pretty much everybody here. There was a couple of like bootings from Parliament Hill. So there's been a bit of a ramp up in regards to this week in regards to activity on Parliament Hill. And sense of what I'm getting is that they're trying to build up. I know there's an event coming up on Friday, and there's just kind of a few more convites coming in to go.
What's coming up on Friday?
Just, yay, we're convites.
Oh, it's the regular Friday Fringe
No,
Friday?
yeah, well, it's Fringe Friday plus. They have some out of towners. They got some people coming in, but it's literally, but everything I'm seeing, I'm like, all the messaging is just the standard 15-minute city, WEF, digital IDs, you know, the regular stupid.
They're creating their own 15-minute cities.
Pretty much. It's and so I saw this build up, and I'm like, we could do something about it, or you know, we could just have our lives. So they had a bit of altercation with PPS because PPS has noticed the build up, and they're getting a little bit more aggressive in regards to dealing with it. So the first
tourists.
That's exactly it.
It's tourist season.
It's tourist season. PPS has had a little bit of it, and they want to, you know, Parliament's in session. They want to deal with that. Tourists are coming by. They want to, you know, tourists want to come in. They want to take photos of the flame. They want to take photos of the Parliament Hill. Maybe take a shot with Terry Fox statue.
Fuck you, fuck Trudeau, fuck in front of their kids from another
Pretty much, they do not want to deal with a trailer park in front of the goddamn gate.
Yeah.
So, here's part 1 of 3.
Swear what? I'm not swearing. Dude, I'm talking to you politely.
You guys get the fuck out.
You're swearing now. So you're kicking me off for swearing and you're telling me to leave?
Yes, you're causing a disturbance.
I'm not. You guys disturbed me. You disturbed me. Dude, I'm a Canadian citizen walking on Parliament Hill to cover a story. Dude, you never did. You put on your gloves aggressively. So did this guy who's chasing me.
This has nothing to do with you.
It's not for your safety, man. Are you saying I'm endangering you by being here?
Sir, I'm going to ask you right now.
Under what grounds?
You're trespassing right now.
How? I'm walking down the street with my damn dog.
I'm going to arrest you and put you, we're going to arrest you and call and give you a trespass. If you don't leave, we're going to arrest you.
They're going to arrest me here.
Yes, leave, sir.
Let's ask these guys. Yes. Excuse me, are you guys politicians? I'm walking up here filming and these guys are trying to arrest me. I'm trying to film here.
Sir, I'm going to ask
Now they're putting hands on me.
Let's go.
Now they're putting hands on me.
You're not allowed to touch people. You swore.
You did. You just told me.
It's on camera.
You just told me that I was being removed from the hill for swearing. Can you hold her? Hold her.
Yep.
Hold her. You just told me to get off the hill for swearing, which I did not do. And then you swore at me. You caused the disturbance. You caused the disturbance. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I'm gone, right? Look.
Can I have a card with your name on it?
Excuse me. Get your hands off me. I'm gone.
I'm gonna ask you to leave.
I'm on public property on the sidewalk. Quit pushing me.
Sir, you're in my bubble right now.
No, you just, excuse me, you're in my bubble. You just advanced on me,
Okay,
man.
there we go.
This is not your jurisdiction. Get out of my face.
He's telling me to leave for no reason.
You just swore at me and told me to get off the hill. You've now pushed me off the hill.
Sir, you've been warned. Next time I see you on the hill, you'll be arrested for trespass.
How so?
Yes.
What's your badge number? What's your name?
I'm not required to give you that.
Yes,
my
you
name
are.
is Constable Nicholas Turing. I'm not required to give you my badge number.
And where's your supervisor? You? He just swore at me and kicked me off the hill for nothing.
I want a picture of your name.
He just threatened me again. He just pushed me.
Please don't be in my face.
Picture of your name.
Okay? No, you can. I can tell you.
Yeah, sure. Tell me. Tell me, man.
Come here. Let me see your
Because of all the politicians standing up there? I've been causing disturbance. You're on camera swearing.
name. I'm not trespassing.
Now you cannot come back to the hill.
Today or what?
No. Yeah.
I'm never allowed back on the hill. Excuse me? Say it again. That is untrue. That's against the law.
90
You
days.
are breaking your
You
authority
are
right now.
You don't even know your
You're
own
a
rules.
supervisor.
You don't even know your rules.
You misspoke when you told me to F off too, probably, and accused me of swearing.
Trespass is 1 year. 1 year.
No, it's
Actually,
not
it's
90
not.
days.
It's not.
90 days. Our buddies just got it for 90
Okay,
days.
I was not causing disturbance until
We've been
6 of these
causing
guys
disturbance
aggressively
until you
came
guys
at
surrounded
me.
us.
You calm down. If I pushed you around, how would you feel? He just
He
pushed
pushed
me
his
right
hands
now.
on him. You're a liar. You're lying.
You're lying too now.
You can go. Fuck off.
She's a citizen. You are law enforcement.
I'm eating dark chocolate, enjoying the video.
Where do we start with this one? So
Daisy and Christine are fucking idiots. I'll just start there.
okay,
And I know they're watching. You guys are fucking idiots. You're an embarrassment even to your own friends.
not gonna disagree with you at all, because yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, so they get onto Parliament. They come caustic and aggressive in regards to security PPS. So from my understanding in regards to this particular day or whatnot, there was a bit of events in regards to what's going on. Somebody else mentioned there that there was going to be, because if you look at the full videos going on, there was some media going up onto the hill, like mainstream media, like CBC and whatnot coming in there. So something was going on that a couple of ministers, I think, made some speeches. I don't know if it was big enough to end up, but it's significant enough. So they're kind of, maintaining that. And to have a bunch of these dumbasses to come on there and like start yelling and screaming to say fuck Trudeau and everything else, and they're like, you know what? We've been listening to you guys for a fucking year now.
Yeah, done. Are you guys politicians? As if the politicians are going to help you now, you fucking morons, after the way you guys have acted.
Yeah,
To
I
all
mean,
the
like,
politicians, like.
yeah, I mean, like, fucking. You think
And I
Pierre
thought you
Paul
guys
was gonna
were
come
so
out?
Yeah, I thought you guys were so involved. Don't you know who all the politicians are?
Yeah,
Or you
Paul
just
was
know
not.
who
Yeah,
Trudeau is, and Pierre Poilievre. That's it.
Poilievre's not gonna come out to say hello to you because he's already got the goddamn, the seat as the head of the head of CPC. You've done the work that he needed you to do for him. He's done. He's like, yeah, all right, cool, I got that. Now I just expect you guys to vote, and if you don't, well, I don't care. I got some old people who are gonna be doing that for me.
Daisy is like an embarrassment. You put your gloves on aggressively. That's the biggest comment everybody keeps saying on all my platforms. He just sounds so ridiculous. Everything he says is ridiculous. He's okay with swearing over and over and over again. The cop says one fuck you or something. Doesn't even say fuck you. He says you get the fuck off the property. And it was like, oh, you couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It was over. Like, what? Oh my God. How dare you use the word fuck?
So for Arrivo's message here on there, and it's one I want to grab there. So thank you, Arrivo.
Yeah.
Because it is absolutely something we see quite a bit. Like it's like these guys are there. They're on the hill. They're constantly hollering there. They've been hollering there for over a year. Yeah, a year and a half.
Yeah.
Ridiculous shit. Angry at Trudeau for and point to all sorts of things in regards to you guys are angry at Trudeau, but you guys are angry at Trudeau for everything. You stub your toe, it's Trudeau's fault kind of shit. Like, I'm sorry, I don't trust anything. I agree that Trudeau is, should be criticized on things in regards to some policies, in regards to some things that occurred.
Like,
sorry?
Paying us.
Yeah, exactly. Making sure our checks come in time. But I mean, like,
yeah.
But that aside, but legitimately, like, there is some legitimate arguments in regards to Trudeau, in regards to certain things, and not just Trudeau, but just Liberal government. And if you want to have that debate in regards to certain things and policies, fine, absolutely, I will agree with you. We can discuss that. There's some things that that all the leaders have said that we can agree and disagree. That's fine. But that's not your policy, and that's not your move right now. You are literally playing that Trudeau is guilty of everything. That's no longer being political. That's just feeding a machine. You're a pawn. When Trudeau's every problem, and he's the source of every problem, that's not really.
Well, they are the problem. And yes, the tourists have to listen to that. They're tourists and their kids who and you're not even protesting anything. That's the thing. Nothing is going to change with what you're doing. You're not making a statement. We've heard it all before. Everything that you're saying, nothing is going to change because of your behavior. Other than finally they're putting their foot down and they're dealing with these morons and getting them off the property. They should have done this a long time ago because it is a disturbance. That is an actual offense. They are disturbing the peace. They have been for the last
absolutely
450 days. Like, enough is enough.
No, it's true. I mean, it's
just because I know Chris Stacy watches this, and so does Christine. I wonder if you guys know. I wonder if you guys know that Jeremy McKenzie and Rohan, is that his name?
I'm sure they watched the last episode.
Think that you guys are fucking idiots. So you don't even have respect from your side. So it's time you pack that shit up and just crawl back under that crazy rock where you guys came from 450 days ago. Just go. Nobody thinks you're accomplishing anything of value. Not one person, except for your fucking selves. You're in your own echo chamber. I'd be so happy if they were never to be heard from or seen again, to be honest.
No, agreed. Give me a second here. I'm just trying to get the next video ready here. Actually, I can
And
probably
you look
do
like
the other
shit
one.
in my cape. I look way better. And thanks for showing me that you guys are thieves again.
No.
Ocean stole $20 out of my daughter's money, and then you guys steal my cape.
No. She deserves to have the cape because you know what?
No, she doesn't deserve to fucking.
No. She does deserve to have
my
the
cape.
cape.
You don't get to decide who deserves to have my fucking cape.
I do, and listen to me. She deserves to have the cape because, come on. It's, she's very, very happy to have the cape, and that is the nicest thing she has right now.
No. She can eat my shit after I've eaten hot chili peppers.
I still think you should let her have the cape because...
No, she's not. I still think she should be charged with theft.
Fair enough. All right. So, yeah, I had to re-rush for some reason of one particular video, but I can bring up the other one in the interim because there's a couple there was a couple of, so there, aside from Dacey's band, there was two others. I'll bring up the other one here right now for us to review. And this is Patty.
Patty.
I'm not allowed past this area here. There's Patty in handcuffs. So they just got her in handcuffs here in the hot sun.
In the hot sun.
I don't know what all the big problem is. Is she that dangerous? They can't just give her a ticket and cut her loose? She must be quite the dangerous individual. Yeah. I'm allowed over here. I'm just not allowed. I'm just not allowed past that area there. If I cross the street, I'm in big trouble.
Actually, I will say honestly, Daisy, the officer there that...
Charging you with anything?
They charged me with mischief.
Oh, yeah, right, mischief.
Yeah.
So they could...
I spoke a couple words to Trudeau, and 7 police officers rushed me.
Oh, yeah, because she talked to Trudeau. There you have it. Yeah, I see that.
So, let me clarify that here. The ending did sound rough. That's not on you. That is not on me. That's the actual video that came from the said stream. I will defend anybody who streams around Parliament from personal experience. Parliament is a nightmare to stream from. There's so much concrete buildings that you can get some bad signaling going on. The reason why I kept that in particular is to show at the very end of that particular event, Patty was released by the police because she walked away unhandcuffed from the police officers.
Well, it's too bad those bracelets look nice on her.
All the ladies like some good shinies, I guess.
I don't know. Why do they think that they can scream and yell at the leader of a country? Tell me where that can happen in any other fucking country where you get within feet of the leader of the country and start yelling obscenities. You look like a danger to them. You are going to be restrained. In most countries, you're going to be thrown into a deep, dark cell and your ass kicked, and then you'll get released. That's what happens in most countries.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Like, those people are ridiculous. Honestly.
They are. They will absolutely, they'll, I gotta put it. It goes back to just entitlement. Like, no. I am here. I have this illusion of what I'm allowed to do. And my illusion is superior to whatever laws that police officer believes.
It's my freedom.
Mostly it surrounds by that the entire idea of like, no, I have freedom, therefore I can do anything I want, regardless of what the laws say. I should be able to come here because I have now deemed Parliament Hill to be public land. And they don't understand that it is and it isn't at the same time. Again, it goes back to the idea of like they don't understand consequences.
Well, how long was Daisy kicked off for? Do we know?
I do, because I reviewed far too much video. One in particular that did. So that Patty video, actually, at the beginning of it, he says, "I'm kicked off Parliament Hill for 1 day. This is his suffering that he's been crying about. He's been kicked off of Parliament Hill for 1 fucking day."
It was the most important day, though, Joe. It was today for him.
Yesterday.
Well,
Yeah, I know. I get it. Yeah. Literally. I'm like, really? One day?
It's like, God.
Don't even know where to start with that painful shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we need 3-stitch Daisy.
No, we have 3-stitch Steve.
Okay, 4-stitch Daisy.
There we go. But one other person was also arrested. Well, not arrested, but banned from the hill. Let me see if we can get that queued up, because this one gets entertaining. And again, this goes back a little bit to the theme of, Deana. I'll explain.
So he's gonna try it, I guess, pushing the limits. Why? What'd you do? He might be just asking for some help over here because of all these bad characters showing up.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
They're not cops. They're not police. They're security.
They're government gang members.
You're abusing your authority. This is abuse of authority. This is abuse of your authority.
Well, I'm being trespassed in Parliament and I want it in writing, so I don't get time. So I'm being trespassed into the Parliament building for standing up for my rights and freedom and using colorful language you're allowed to do under the Supreme Court ruling. Can I appeal that trespass? So, I'm just going to let you know, people, I'm the first person to well, not first whatever, to get a trespassing ban from this doomed place for basically exercising my rights. But I know Deana Joe is going to watch this video. I know she's going to say shit about me, but I don't care. Deana, I don't care about your little tactics. I don't care about Antifa, but...
So hang on, before you speak, I wanted, as a little bit of background for everybody who gets to watch this, Deana doesn't get to watch the videos before I show them to her. She literally gets to see them as quickly as firsthand as they come out to you guys too. So the only person that gets to see them first is me.
Most of them. Obviously I see some of them because they're posted, but yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So most of the shit's kind of prepared here is by me before, and I don't give her a clue because it's more. I find it's more fun if I don't tell her, because shit, why not? Again, so twice, Deana, you've been called out in a fucking video.
They love to hate me.
They do. It's your milkshakes.
Donald Smith. Donald. I don't actually really talk about you. I did make a post that was more in reference to the person who is supposed to be helping you stay out of trouble. You say that you're exercising your freedoms, Donald, but you have limited freedoms. You understand that. Whether you agree with them or not, you have limited freedoms. I know you're watching this video. And I actually don't have, at this moment, because I don't know Donald enough. I only know what he wrote about me. I saw that, I read what he wrote about me. And it was enough to inform me that I only have sadness for Donald at this point. I don't know all of the story. I'm sure people were harmed by him. I saw his video. Donald reminds me of someone who is really strongly looking for acceptance. He reminds me, and I'm not saying this is Donald, I'm telling you that this is what reminds me of, that Donald probably had a tough time growing up, that he was probably bullied, and that this is a survival mode for him. And now he's coming out being the bully before somebody bullies him. So at this point, from what I know from Donald, I don't hold any animosity towards him. I hope Donald surrounds himself with much better people than he is surrounding himself with now, because the only thing that will come out of this for Donald is likely going back to jail. And that's not where Donald needs to be. Donald needs to be somewhere where they can help him work on who he is. That is that's my opinion of Donald. And people could be angry with me because there's maybe more to the story or whatever. But I form my own opinions, and it's based on what I see and what I experience, which is another reason why I talk to people that most people say I shouldn't talk to, because I need to know what's going on or what I perceive as going on in their own minds. And of course, there's certain people I would refuse to talk to. But yeah, that's what I have to say about Donald. He was not right going up and trying to challenge the PPS. He wasn't there when things happened. Maybe he saw the video, but you're standing up for someone who gives zero fucks, actually, about you, Donald. Chris Dacey is not worth you breaching your probation and ending up back in jail. None of those people are. Not one of them. Because they wouldn't do the same for you. Mark my words. That's all I have to say.
Agreed. So it's yeah, everything you just said is absolutely 110% correct. And I agree with you in regards to Donald. Although still with caution, Donald has been one to be concerned about.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah. And I never, sorry, I wasn't saying that to say you didn't. And
yeah,
no, that wasn't where I was going with that.
Right. But if anybody's listening for the first time, they might get that from what I'm saying. So it is good to affirm that there are people. Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. So I mean, like, no, Deana and I are both understand that Donald can be concerning in regards to actual threats and whatnot, but is absolutely sort of also concerning in regards to both just concern in regards to what he may be in regards to threats, but also he does. I do believe, and as Deana was saying, that he does deserve compassion in regards to he may not fully understand what he's doing. And so something like jail may not be quite appropriate, as Deana was saying. I completely support and agree with that. Somebody like him may also need additional assistance and whatnot, because you know what? We can throw people in jail. That hasn't worked for shit in regards to a lot of stuff.
Well, it doesn't work for him, but it'll keep the other people that are his target safer, right?
Yes.
But it's not a win situation, not by any means.
Agreed. I mean, like it's one of those. Yeah, I get it, and I get the idea of like locking him away forever. Cool. But is it because of the monster that if that monster is sort of like permanently that's what it is, that's he's a monster, I would understand that. But if he is just a person that's confused and has challenges and can be changed in regards to addressing the issues that brought him to that point, wouldn't that be better?
Yeah,
Especially,
I feel like he needs to be around people who know how to express kindness and love and
compassion.
Compassion is the word. That's the best word. And the people he's hanging around with are not them, and they're not providing good examples. I mean, how can they be? Every fucking day of their lives, they are out picking fights with people. How is that good for Donald? How is that good for Donald? How is that good for any of them? Period. But then when you compound it with somebody who has already had the justice system, they're involved in the justice system, and they're teetering on going back to jail. These fucking assholes, instead of saying, Donald, it's probably better if you don't get involved, they're just like filming him for their fucking audience.
Yeah.
Is what they're doing. They're not taking care of the risk or his risk. They're disgusting pieces of shit. If you, Joe, were on probation and I am in an argument with somebody and you wanted to jump in, I'd be like, it's cool, I got this, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want you to end up in a worse position you're in. Those people, no, they want to film it so then all their audience can be like, look what's happening.
No, absolutely. It's like I said, it's kind of why I'm like challenged in regards to concern when it comes to Donald Smith, because absolutely he can be concerning, but also there's a pity there. And that's exactly I think what Deana was saying, expressing as we both do, which is
I don't like the word pity, but I think I know what you're saying. I don't pity him. I think we all make our own decisions and stuff, but I
think hasn't been presented all the better choices he could make.
Yeah. He hasn't been making the better choices he could make either. But maybe he has limited options. And so I don't know what the answer is, other than the stupid assholes that are surrounding him need to do better. The end.
Yeah, they won't.
I know they won't.
Yeah.
I'm not.
We're gonna move. Yeah, we're gonna move away from Parliament Hill to actually a couple blocks away with a story I did not warn Deana about, because you know what? I like to mess with her. So I'm gonna bring you back to a place that you and I are familiar with.
It's 11:15. Oh my god. Okay. Let's do this.
We're gonna move over to downtown to a place in the market. It's a church. The northern end of the market, called Tupac or St. Bridget's. Do you know St. Bridget's? I don't know if you ever heard of that place.
St. Bridget's.
You know St. Bridget's, but they did something. They did something kind of interesting this week. It looks a little like this. So St. Bridget's has been working hard all week.
Yay!
And now the doors look like this.
Nice. They should have painted them rainbow colors.
That would have been awesome. You're absolutely right. But they did
restored it. Looks good.
They restored it back to the original blue. Our friend local to the area, keeping that kind of on the DL, sent us some wonderful shots of the doors, and they were happy as shit to see the doors go back to blue.
Yeah.
It took almost a year for it. But it's kind of a nice little celebration post Tupac losing their appeal to see the blue come back on the doors. And I can't say I'm not happy to see it.
I just thought of a rhyme. You ready?
Go for it.
Tupac is red, St. Bridget's is blue. We all have one thing to say. That's fuck you. I love it too. I'll try harder next time. I'll come up with a better one, but I like it.
Hi, it was perfect.
All right, good.
Perfect. What are you talking about? No. Perfect. Anywho. So
I guess they have
that's
to
our-
wait for the appeal to be over, and then they could just go and like make the point. This is it. This is it.
Yeah, exactly. With the appeal kind of done, I mean, Comer has been sort of like, like broken up, like divorced dad, kind of like
Yeah.
tweeting whatever he's
Now
been
she's
like.
wearing a new dress and going out on the town and like getting all these visitors.
Literally the messaging you like if you read the tweets, it's like, oh, Jay Bridges, like there's another comic that I'd love to see, like just like Comer's just curled up with photo of St. Bridges, like, why do you have to leave me?
Yeah.
Oh,
She's getting all dolled up and
he won't love
Moved
you
on.
like I did. One of those.
on.
Moved on for sure. It's absolutely epic. Anyways, we are way over time. I thought we were going to be under time, but yeah. So the only one last thing I want to say before we take off, because it gets over time, is one of the particular things in regards to this particular episode was sorry, I should probably change the view to something like this. But one of the particular things I wanted to share with everybody is there was a lot of stories in regards to this week. But with the exception of that one particular story for Calgary, everything was focused in regards to Ontario. And the reason that's one of those things I want to bring out this week to share with everybody is there's been a lot this week. There was a lot last week. There was a lot of right-wing activity in the past, beginning of the month of June. It's been large, it's been big, it's been aggressive. And the fact that there is a lot of stories we did not include tonight because there was so much is from all over the place. There was a huge increase. We've talked about this increase going on, and we've noticed it strong in June. So it's one of those things I kind of asked sort of everybody to go around in regards to bringing up to your political candidates, your political MPs, MPPs, and everything else, as there is an increase in right aggression. We can't tell what kind of increase there is because there's nobody tracking it. We need to get some funding in regards to tracking like this increase in what's going on. We need to get more people involved. We need to get more visibility. So my call is contact MPs, see if we can get more better stats, contact other people, see if we can get more people involved, because as it stands right now, we got a huge influx in regards to June, and it's not going to decrease.
I would have thought somebody like the Canadian Anti-Hate Network would be keeping track of something like this.
Canadian Anti-Hate already sent out a message, because I actually asked them about this, like what kind of stats we're looking at, and they said, we can't give that to you because that's a huge amount of work and funding we don't have.
Okay, fair enough then.
Canadian Anti-Hate has said multiple times, let's ignore the misinformation of what Canadian Anti-Hate is and focus on a couple of realities, which is there are roughly about 4 people at a minimal amount of funding that they can get.
Yeah.
To give reporting on what they can do. And just recently, I sent a retweet from them. They are barely keeping up with the larger stories, and especially with something of what's going on right now, with a huge uptick and increase, and we're seeing a huge uptick increase across the board. They cannot document all the events going on. We have problems, and Deana and I are doing this on our own, just to document the shit that's going on from week to week.
Yeah.
On a very, very, very minimal
high level. And yeah, like it's a very high level sort of whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. And we limit ourselves to Ontario. Canadian Anti-Hate is more dedicated to it, and there's no way they can handle everything that just occurred this week. We couldn't even handle Ontario alone. I'm sure we missed 1 or 2 stories.
Yeah.
And I know we've missed 1 or 2 stories. So there is a huge uptick. There is kind of a pressure that we need to sort of push politically in regards to saying, hey, we need to get more information on what's going on. We need to push out.
I need more
That's my piece.
funding so that I can quit my day job and just do this full time. So, Trudeau,
Papa
if you're
Trudeau.
listening, I'm going to need an increase because my day job is getting in the way.
It's true. Come on, Papa Trudeau. Give us some more Trudeau bucks. Exactly. All right. We're out of here. Thanks for joining us. And
more socks for Tina.
Exactly. More socks, more megaphones, more milkshakes. Till then, enjoy
Good
the
night, everybody.
Good night.
I want to know why they're so fucking quiet. Where are my turfs? Where's my anti-trans? Where are you? You're so quiet! Why are you not talking about the world's first trans male boxer wins a fight over a cisgendered man? Huh? You seem real quiet.